Hello, everyone. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening and welcome to the 124th Williamsville South High School Commencement Ceremony. Before I ask our Student Congress President to formally welcome you to this joyous event, we have a few brief reminders about tonight's ceremony. We ask that you please take a moment to silence all cell phones and audible electronic devices. Due to the potential of uncooperative weather, we will be moving the awarding of our diplomas to the front of the program. While diplomas are being awarded, we ask that you hold your applause until the end so that each student's name can be heard and recognized for their great achievement. Finally, during our recessional, we ask that you remain at your seat until all graduates have left the area, which at that point would conclude our ceremony. Now, for our formal welcome, it is my pleasure to introduce our Williamsville South Student Congress President, Ms. Marnie Rydell.
Hello, family and friends of the class of 2018. I am honored to get the chance to welcome you to this very special day, the class of 2018 graduation ceremony here at South. Although I am delivering the welcoming speech in our ceremony today, ironically enough, I am going to talk about goodbyes, because I believe they're one of the harder concepts to grasp in life. They're not an easy thing to do. I'm especially bad at them and have a distaste for them. Senior year is filled with goodbyes because one of the largest chapters in our lives is coming to an end. Today is the ultimate goodbye. We have all been looking forward to graduation day for quite some time now, let's not lie. We have all imagined walking across the stage while our family sits on the front lawn and we receive our diplomas, moving on to bigger and better things in life, because believe it or not, it gets better than high school. But I think that we can all agree that a little tiny part of us is feeling great dread. Dread because things are changing in much larger ways than we could ever imagine. And I don't mean to scare you all. Change can be harder than goodbye. Much like goodbye, change is inevitable. And sometimes that can be good. As you sit here today, we can't begin to imagine where life is about to take us. We can't even imagine all the change we're about to endure. Every curve in the road is more change we're about to face head on. Don't go searching for a different road. The one we were given is the one that was meant to take us to the places that we've been and meant to take us to the places that we're going. We're 17 and 18 years old and we're not supposed to have it all figured out right now, maybe in a couple of years. But right now you have to enjoy the road that you're on. Let it take you the scenic route. Let it take you the long way. It was meant to bring you to every destination and take you around every corner. Sometimes your road is full of potholes like Evans. or needs a brand new start like Maple. You might never know the reason things happen, but you must trust the process. We can't live in fear of the unknown or what could happen. Change might be scary, but without it, we face no real challenges. There are many easy ways to accept change. First, you must face it head on. Then you cannot back down. Show no sign of fear because change can smell fear. The steps are simple. Sometimes this path might lead you to goodbye, which brings me full circle. Much like change, we can't fear goodbyes. Embrace them because it's life telling you it's time to move on from this chapter. High school's chapter is closing in a few minutes. It's now our turn to say goodbye to high school and hello to the next chapter, our next destination, whatever that may be. Don't be afraid of goodbyes because it's leading you to change. Be thankful that the chapter happened and now you get to move on. It takes a lot to say goodbye and accept the change that we're about to endure. And if you can do that, then I have confidence that you can do anything that you put your mind to. While I'm up here, I would like to thank the parents, the guardians, grandparents, siblings, families, and loved ones. You've raised us to be the people that we are today, the great individuals that will face change head on and accept goodbyes with passing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Morgan, and I have the privilege of being the principal here at South. As is part of the tradition here at South, our graduating class officers had the opportunity to vote for faculty members who would read their names during graduation. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize these special guests. Mrs. Maria Dean. Mrs. Dean is retiring from Williamsville South this year after 25 years of service to the district. And Mr. Kevin Crone. And at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Sean LeMay, President of the Board of Education, to join me up here at the podium so we can certify the graduation. Mr. LeMay, as the principal of the Williamsville South High School, I present these, the graduates of the class of 2018, to you, certifying that they have met all the obligations and requirements for graduation as set forth by the State of New York and the Board of Education of the Williamsville Central School District.
With the authority vested in me by the Board of Education of the Williamsville Central School District, I hereby declare you, graduates of Williamsville South High School, with all the rights, honors, and privileges due to the holders of the diploma you are about to receive.
The Class of 2018, Senior Class Officers, John J. Montgomery, Brian Faith Gilliam, Molly Driscoll Moore, Nicholas Frederick Huber. Student Congress Officers, Marnie Louise Rydell, Sarah Audrey Cook, Maureen C. O'Malley, Shakrithi Krishnan, Top 10 students, Connor Benjamin Vincent, Una Ha, Lauren Nicole Lassiter, Sarah Elizabeth Meyer, Parker J. Storm, Grace E. Storsey, Owen William McCoy, Roman DeMario Price.
Sorry, that's okay.
Ava Marie Arminen, Jerusha K. Arulanatham, Kyle Andrew Boss, Emily Samantha Bengard, David Bergamasco, Amanda Lynn Bernas, Nina Bala, Conrad J. Boris, Cody Christopher Boscat, Mitchell David Bossy, Cara Rose Marie Boswell, Colin Matthew Branca, Marlena Kathleen Brannan, Sarah J. Brannan, Emma Grace Brinkworth, Isabel Daniela Bob, and Marissa L. Camacho. Lee Chow, Gabriella Carducci, Ivy Elizabeth Carey, Caitlin Jane Corrado, Savannah Sue Castronova, Duncan James Cicero, Eric Joseph Cicero, Nicholas Mark Cicero, Jordan R. Conte, Samuel J. Capola, Benjamin M. Chikalski, Mackenzie S. Daly, Alexander Matthew Dane, Sarah Elizabeth Daniels, Alana Amy J. Davis, Madeline Claire Davidson, Naomi Marie DeBerry, Trevor James Dean, Samuel Albert Dickerman, Brandon Troy Dayon, Susanna Domowska, Catherine Doe, Kyle Doe, Gregory Peter Dolan, Sarah J. Donaldson, Michaela Rose Donovan, Samoan Dumas, Catherine Lynn Duzinski, Kelly Eckenrode, Bryce Edward Ellis, Lillian Jean Farrell, Olivia Renee Ferguson, Alexandria L. Ferrantino, Jacob Alexander Fields, Adam E. Fisher, Joshua N. Foster, Alexander S. Frank, Jenna Grace French, Ethan Joseph Fuhr, Ryan Anthony Fuller, Tyler Joseph Fuqua, Sarah M. Galanis, Isabella Gotti, Samuel R. Gotti, Matthew Brian Gerland, and Michael Paul Gerland, Nicholas R. Gaska, Aruj Gori, Nigel L. Gill, Elizabeth A. Gillies Thomas, Riley P. Gerard, John M. Getzman, Paul William Getzman, Jennifer Lynn Gorchek, Zachary K. Guth, Kaylee V. Guy, Eleanor Ann Hake, Cal Matthew Hapapuro, AJ Haas, Amanda Rose Haley, Megan Lynn Hall, Nehemiah J.A. Hamilton, Monica Mary Hammerall, Catherine Rose Hannon, Dylan Tristan Harrison, Kiernan T. Hayward, Quinn Andrew Hayward, Sabrina Hedges, Mary Catherine Hillebrand, Joshua Hahn, Sophia Michelle Houston, Lauren Ayacuzo, Matthew William Jacobs, Amelia E. Johnson, Sarah M. Johnson, Letitia D. Jones, Eric C. Judd, Shauna Jewel Series, Ina Kaisamyami, Megan M. Kelly, Monet Danielle Kennedy, Taha Muhammad Khan, Wylan Kiefer, Rachel I. Kavovich, Samuel M. Kraus, Borislav D. Kunav, Brianna Elizabeth Lafferty, Connor D. Langle, Ryan J. Lanzas, Anthony W. Lazzaroni, Z. Leering, Anthony Torrey Lombardo, Jacob C. Loomis, Gavin Norman Lotz, Vinicius F. Macedo, Claire Margaret Rydell Maspa,
David J. Mahar, Adela Rose Marlborough, Isaiah Malcolm, Casey Patricia Malkowski, Samantha Catherine Maloney, Alyssa Mamana, James Mana, Giovanni L. Massaro, James D. McGowan, Jada Jennifer McTeer, Jasmine Marie McTeer, Julia R. Maglaccio, Alexander Klein Miller, Julia R. Miller, Ryan Alexander Moore, Danielle L. Mordaunt, Victoria Rose Moreau, Hannah S. Morrow, Maximilian Joseph Maslow, Mason Muffalotto, Mariah Haley Mulher,
All right, Mariah!
Megan Nowak,
Way to go, Danny.
Connor Paul O'Brien, Jonathan O'Connor, Jessica Alina Odo, Evan A. Oliver, Jalen Oliver, Tyler Christopher Olson, William C. O'Neill, Tyler Joseph Osborne, Marianne Rose Overfield, Gianna Danielle Pace, Matthew Marcus Pagano, Christian M. Palladino, Mia Ray Panzarella, Olivia Rose Paulini, Abby Mason Paquette, Melissa Pasternak, Heather Pena. Haley Rose Penvos. I'm sorry, it's Haley N. Penvos. Jenna L. Penvos. Joel Nicholas Penvos. Ricardo E. Pereira. Christina Peterson. William James Peterson. Evan Phillips. Benjamin Isaiah Phillips. Haley A. Pierce. Megan R. Pitaresi. Caleb W. Pomeroy. Daniel Proch. Caitlin E. Quagliano. Rose Quattro. Alexandra E. Reeds. Jillian Rachel Ribakov. Robert Justin Richards. Ori Y. Rickler. And Amberly Ray Robertson. Rebecca Ann Rumholt. Brendan Michael Rowan. Darian Jamal Rowe. Caroline Elizabeth Roosh. Emily Ann Roosh. Gabrielle Lauren Ronfola. Gemma M. Russo.
Woo! Yeah, Jim!
Abdul Jabbar Salim. Cody J. Sanford. Benjamin Chu. Emily I. Schwartz. John A. Sumi. Ariana Seaborn. Elizabeth T. Seward. Gabrielle Schaefer. Allison M. Shaw. Emily Shea. Brandon Sheedy. Paul Shimonovich. Philip Shimonovich. Richard E. Shivey III. Ryan Connor Sidorsky. Jenna M. Zaraki. Priya Singh Lockman. Catherine E. Slossman.
Katie!
Bianca Sorcy. Alyssa May Special. Jessica Marie Spence. David William Spring. Gianna Marie Stahl. Grace Stahl. Jacob Michael Stives. Michaela M. Stonis. Nicole Marie Takak. Danielle E. Tomir. Trevor Tibbetts. Matthew Tiedemann. Vanshika Singh Tomar. Nicholas J. Forgalski. Michaela M. Toy. Kathleen Tran. Tiffany Turner. Sampo Emil Turi. Chloe Ann Tuin. Kanan H. Vakil.
One, two, smile.
V. Venerd. Ryan A. Van Splender. Thomas B. Vaughn. Beyonce Kennedy Vaughn. Laura Wanamaker. Chelsea Grace Warren. Jacob William Ware. Maggie Isabella Weicher. Jacob Weinstein. Ben Wellenzon. Brianna J. Wellenzon. David Whalen. Frank Andrew Van Wendland. Rachel S. Winter. Emily Whitcomb. Grace M. Whitcomb. Bailey M. Wilson. Carter J. Wilson. Maxine Ann Wishman. Gabrielle D. Whitmer. Corey Inman Wilf. Jenna Woods. Edward A. Zacher. Gavin D. Zabovich. Mary Jean Zells. Lorenzo Angelo Zendano. Emily K. Zenger. Ethan Zmuda. And Caitlin E. Zahn.
And today it is my pleasure to introduce Maureen O'Malley, the class of 2018 Valedictorian. Maureen will be attending Brown University in the fall to study applied mathematics and computer science. Throughout her time at South, Maureen participated in various extracurriculars, but her peers, especially myself, would define her by the determination and kindness she exudes. Without further ado, Maureen O'Malley.
Good evening, friends, family members, honored guests, and the class of 2018. I am so humbled that I have the honor to stand before you tonight and represent the 124th graduating class of Williamsville South High School. Today marks a remarkable achievement for the class of 2018 and an incredible step towards our goals in life. When thinking about the class of 2018, the first thing that comes to mind is our sense of community and pride. The solidarity among us is quite evident, and there's really nothing else like it. The solidarity, the way that our class has grown over the time mirrors the growth of a tree to some extent. When you first plant a tree, its roots are non-existent. It is only a small seed that embeds itself into the ground. Over time, the tree becomes a member of its ecosystem, thriving and growing, even as its atmosphere changes. The roots grow deep into the ground, creating an intricate underground pattern that give a solid foundation to the rest of the plant. The roots of the tree go first, even before the tree sprouts up from the ground. At South, our roots are our sense of pride and a unique community that has been built around tradition. As we've settled into high school, our roots spread and grew. When I think of South, I think of the roots.
The community and pride here keep us all standing and help us support our accomplishments. As a tree grows, it learns from its surroundings and its experiences. As the class of 2018, we have irreplaceable memories together. We are a class unlike any other before us, special in our bond and solidarity. Together, we've all danced and belted the lyrics to Sweet Caroline together. Together, we have all felt the bleachers shake as we've cheered on our athletic teams. We have all trudged through the snow together on March 14th to say never again. These unique experiences, these moments that we hopefully never forget, have helped us grow to be a part of the South ecosystem in each of our own unique ways. As we move on towards the next part of our lives, our atmospheres will be changing. We will not all be pursuing the same endeavors, whether that be college, jobs, or otherwise, but we will always be the class of 2018. As such, we should take the lessons and the experiences we've gained from being South students and apply them to the tasks that we will soon face. Everything that we have learned, from our teachers to our friends, to the events in the last 4 years, are what have shaped us and prepared us for this next step. As we've grown together, laughed together, and learned together, for the past 4 years, we've been relying on our roots here at South. We've been building up our lives to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. There have been many frustrating times and fortunately just as many aha moments, for otherwise we would not have made it this far. Williamsville South has given us our start and has been the roots for our future growth. The people in this building, our parents, our friends, our family members, and everyone else are the strongest support systems in our lives. They have helped us and shown us how to be humble, yet full of pride. They have given us the support and to be successful in everything that we wish to accomplish. Thank you for everything. And thank you to the class of 2018. Everyone says that high school is the best 4 years of our lives, and because of the people in front of me today, I can sincerely say that that is true. This is just the start for all of us. I know that there are many more accomplishments to come from everyone. Our foundation is strong and solid for the next step in our lives. I know each of our futures are bright, and I can't wait to see where we all go in the future. I wish you all the best of luck. Congratulations, class of 2018. We did it.
Class of 2018, we finally did it. Now, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce my partner in crime, our class president, John Montgomery.
Well, now that we got our diplomas, this isn't a rule anymore. Yeah, this feels better, for sure. So, we did it. We made it. As cliche as it might have been, or might be, these 4 years, they really did fly by. It's been a true honor to experience this with all of you guys. You guys are great. And no matter what path you guys take in the future, we'll remember these 4 years. In that time, I've learned that as a class, we're free-spirited, we're passionate, but most importantly, we're unique. And as unique individuals, we have the power to bring something to the table that's new, and therefore, we have the power to make a difference. These 4 years shaped us, but we still have a journey ahead of us. And sadly, there'll be times when life strikes you down, but sometimes, it's just the way she goes. We'll make mistakes, and I'm not saying we should blow these off, but once we accept that we made a mistake, it's the first step towards growth, and it's the first step towards change. So I challenge you to continue to grow, continue to change, And whether you know it or not, our time here has taught us one thing that will carry with us for the rest of our lives. It's not long division. It's definitely not how to write an APZ paragraph. And surprisingly, it's not our amazing badminton and ping pong skills, because we're pretty good at that. What we've learned is that through hard work, we can accomplish anything. And the things that we'll accomplish in the future, no matter how big or small, they'll create change. The world is now ours. And we don't just have the ability to change the world, but it's our responsibility to do so. Thank you, and good luck with the rest of your lives. So now, I'd like to welcome our valedictorian, Salutatorian. I'm sorry. It's the way she goes. I'm sorry. You know what? Connor Vince, get up here. He's a great guy.
I'd like to start off by congratulating all of you. A few people asked me to give them a shout out today, and if you are one of those narcissists, please understand that I've chosen to talk about myself instead. But seriously, congratulations. We did it. We graduated. Today we look back on the past 4 years and remember all of the good times we've had. We also look toward the future as we head off to the workforce, the military, trade school, or college. We are starting a new path as adults. Remember that we are all Billies, and no matter where life takes us, we will carry our experiences at South with us. None of us would be here today without all of the amazing teachers, guidance counselors, staff, and administrators who worked every day to give us an outstanding education. Before you leave today, thank them when you see them. Not everyone has the opportunity to go to a high school like South. I would also like to thank my parents and all of the parents and relatives who are here today. It is because of your guidance and encouragement that we are able to walk across this stage. Finally, I would like to thank the class of 2018. You have made the past 4 years unforgettable. You are bright, talented, funny, hard-working young adults, and you will go on to do big things in life. My best advice to you is to follow your dreams and do what makes you happy. You are going to face challenges along the way, but it's not so much the challenges that matter. It's how you overcome them. One of the biggest challenges I faced at South was joining a sports team. During my freshman year, I tried out for the JV basketball and JV baseball teams, and I got cut from both. I almost gave up on playing a sport, but my dad ran cross country when he was in high school, so I thought I'd give that a shot. The problem was, I had zero training, I had never run more than a mile, and I had the aerobic capacity of a walrus. I made the team, because everyone makes the team. The first few weeks of practice were probably the most physically grueling weeks of my life. It drained me enough to make me question my physical abilities, but it was also really fun. A special kind of bond forms between people who endure pain and exhaustion together. I made some of my best friends during those workouts, and I wouldn't trade those scorching hot summer days for the world. I'm telling you this story because I thought I failed. I thought I wasn't good enough to play a sport in high school, and I almost gave up. But I started running cross country, and even though I wasn't very good at it, I liked doing it. My race times were dropping, my aerobic capacity was improving. I just felt happier. Not only did I make new friends, I also went from a 10-minute mile to a 6-minute mile. That's not very good compared to the top runners, but it's good for me. I overcame the physical challenges along the way and got past the mental roadblock of proving to myself that I could do it. So my point is, don't give up. You're going to fail. And you are going to face challenges after high school that you don't think you'll be able to overcome. But don't stop trying. You only fail if you stop trying. So take a good look around. Seriously, look around. You guys can, yeah. These are your classmates, your teammates, and your friends. We are the future, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Brianne Gilliam, and I'm the Senior Class Vice President. And today I will be acknowledging our honored guests for this evening. First, we have Superintendent Dr. Scott Marsloff. Next, President of Board of Education, Mr. Sean LeMay. Mr. Philip Meyer. Mr. Mark Mecca. Our principal, Mr. Keith Boardman. Our assistant principal, Mr. Jason Swenson. Our interim assistant principal, Mr. Adam Erickson. Our class advisors, Ms. Regina Schuler and Ms. Andrea Rosansky. Mr. Ronald Schupert, PTSA Council, and our interpreter, Ms. Barbara Meyer. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Scott Martzloff. Dr. Scott G. Martzloff began his tenure as Superintendent of Schools for the Williamsville Central School District on August 1st, 2011. Prior to his appointment in Williamsville, the Rochester native was the superintendent of the Byron Bergen Central School District, a rural district in Genesee County, for 2 years. Dr. Martzloff also worked 8 years for the Rochester City School District, a large urban district with over 32,000 students, where he was an administrator for operations and served as a high school assistant principal. He began his career as a special education teacher in the Rush Henrietta Central School District, located in suburban Rochester, where he also served as an assistant principal. Dr. Martzloff received his bachelor's degree in biology from the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts, where he played Division I basketball. He earned his master's degree in educational administration from the State University of New York at Brockport and received a doctorate in education from the University of Rochester. He also holds permanent certification as a school district administrator in New York State and is certified in special education K-12. Dr. Martzloff and his wife Kim have 3 children who are attending South High School and Mill Middle School. Dr. Martzloff is totally dedicated to the education of the Williamsville students. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Scott G. Martzloff, Superintendent of Schools, who will bring greetings to our class on behalf of the district administration. Thank you.
So they say if it rains on your graduation day, it's good luck. And I'm hoping right now that if it doesn't rain, it's even better luck. So we'll see. As your school superintendent, I am truly honored to share this special day with you and your families. High school graduation is one of the most meaningful milestones in anyone's life, and it's what we as educators devote our careers to, getting students ready for today and all it represents. But we all know that you did not get to this point on your own. I want to begin by acknowledging your parents, grandparents, siblings, your teachers, your friends and neighbors, everyone who has loved, supported, inspired, and cheered for you along the way. Today is a day of celebration and great pride for them as well. Class of 2018, let's give them a round of applause for all of their support. Now, 94% of you will be attending various 2-year and 4-year colleges, and the list of colleges you will be attending is impressive. The Williamsville South class of 2018 has earned college scholarships totaling nearly $3 million. As a public school district where we welcome and educate every child that passes through our doors, Williamsville produces graduation results that rival those of private schools without the burden of tuition and without turning any students away. Now, some of you will be joining the workforce and will be making immediate contributions to our community, while others will be heading off to the military and proudly serving our country. As a community, we take great pride in the achievement of every graduate receiving a diploma today. Every one of you has the capability to do some truly spectacular things. As you prepare to walk the stage, as you just did, I would like to take a few minutes to lend my voice to the chorus of people giving you advice about your future. I promise to keep it short. It is the young people who must take the lead. Thus you and your young compatriots everywhere have had thrust upon you a greater burden of responsibility than any generation that has ever lived. Robert F. Kennedy said those words more than 50 years ago when speaking at the University of Cape Town, South Africa, during the throes of apartheid. Senator Kennedy went on to say, each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a teeny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. Kennedy's Ripple of Hope speech proclaims a message that is as important and relevant today as it was in 1966. As you leave Williamsville South to pursue your dreams, I want to urge each of you to help build a better way forward for us all. Find ways to give back and look at how you can contribute positively to the lives of others. Don't be silent in the presence of injustice or hatred or abuse. Stay true to who you are and follow the moral compass your parents, your teachers, your coaches, and for many your faith have nurtured over the years. You leave South High School today well prepared to make a positive difference in the world. Trust that inner voice and know that you have the power to enact change, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Apple CEO Tim Cook spoke at the Duke University commencement last month and told the class of 2018 that no generation has ever had more power than yours, and no generation has had a chance to change things faster than yours can. He urged graduates to take that power and use it for good. I want to echo that call to action today. Many of you have already found your voice, advocating for those less fortunate or less able and challenging the status quo. You have collected food for the poor, raised money for cancer research, and held fundraisers to help build schools in South Sudan. The unimaginable headlines and images out of Florida and Texas this past year have left an indelible mark on your senior year. I am so proud of all the young people here in Williamsville who are helping to drive the national conversation around school safety and forcing politicians and pundits to heed your voices. You are a critical part of the solution, and I have no doubt that your civic engagement, your advocacy, and your courage to speak up will lead to positive change. Parkland High School students Sawyer Garrity and Andrea Pena spent an hour and a half hiding in a hot, cramped closet with other students as gunshots rang out nearby. In the aftermath of the massacre and in the midst of their sorrow and anguish over the 17 people who lost their lives, they wrote a song called Shine to inspire hope and unity. The lyrics say, in part, "We're putting up a fight. You may have brought the dark, but together we will shine a light. We will be something special. We're going to shine. We're going to stand tall. Going to raise up our voices so we never ever fall. Get together, organize, speak up, and as Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. While the opportunities ahead of you are abundant, the challenges at times will be daunting. We are all vulnerable at some point, and reaching out can be scary. Knowing when to ask for help is a sign of courage and strength. It takes a strong person to be self-aware of his or her own limitations. Seeking help demonstrates that you are taking ownership of the situation and are committed to finding a path to success. Always remember that no matter where you go or how far you travel, we will always be here for you. We are behind you 100%, and you will always be part of the Billy's family. Williamsville has given you a strong foundation, and as you venture forward, do so with confidence in what you have learned, in the experiences that you've had, and in the lifelong bonds that you have formed. The power lies within each of you to create a teeny ripple of hope, and together you have the power to build a current strong enough to change our world for the better. I don't know what your future holds, but I believe we are in good hands. Embrace the journey, pursue your dreams, and venture proudly as a Williamsville South graduate. Congratulations, class of 2018.
It is now my honor to welcome the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Sean LeMay.
Don't look at those clouds there. Those are going away. There's sunshine over there. Good afternoon, honored guests, administrators, teachers, parents, family, friends, and of course, the entire class of 2018. What a year it's been for all of you. Just 4 years ago, you walked into this school unsure of where you were, what time your next class started, or even where your locker was. How did you go from the ruler of middle school to the peasant at high school? You most certainly were excited, nervous, and deep down you were probably scared, but you played it cool. You recognized some old faces, but many are new to you, and sadly, some of your old friends are now attending different high schools. Imagine coming to a school that particular day and not recognizing anyone. Your anxiety surely would have started to build. It wouldn't have been that bad, except that your favorite shirt that morning you wanted to wear had a rip in it. Your bagel got stuck in the toaster and burned. You missed the bus, and now you stand at your locker struggling between anger and tears. Someone walks up to you and greets you by name, asks you how your day is going and if you'd like help finding that first class. Moments of kindness like that are what I'd like to talk to you about today. Kindness and compassion are two words that seem to be no more or less important than any other two. Yet these two words have more meaning than virtually any other you'll find in the dictionary of mankind. I recently was fortunate to attend one of the Williamsville Unified High School basketball games, and I have to say, what I saw blew me away. It was your typical basketball game with the teams running back and forth, up and down the court, shooting the ball, making baskets to the cheer of the crowd. The visiting team had the ball and made a shot and missed, but we recovered when our team stole the ball. What happened next is what stunned me. The Williamsville player stopped dead in his tracks, realizing that the visiting team player was upset. He turned around, went back to her, handed her the ball, and let her shoot again. The entire room was silent as I think just about everybody's heart broke. It was that compassion that made this the highlight of my day. After that, I tried to attend as many of these games as possible to watch these kinds of acts repeat themselves game after game. You may have heard of the woman who was tragically killed by a hunter last year. Her name was Rosemary Bilquist, and her friends and family often thought of her as the kindest person they'd ever met. Rosemary worked at the local hospital in Jamestown, and during lunch one day in front of the hospital, she observed a man struggling to stand while waiting for a ride. So Rosemary went home, retrieved a bench, and placed it in front of the hospital so that that gentleman would have a place to sit and rest. She engraved on it, "In a world where you can be anything, be kind." The author George Sanders gave a famous commencement speech at the Syracuse University a few years ago about his success and failures in his life. He talked about how short life is, how valuable your time is, but his biggest regret in life was not what you would have expected. It wasn't from being poor or being humiliated. It wasn't, and I quote, "skinny dipping in a river in Sumatra, looking up to see like 300 monkeys sitting on a pipeline, pooping into the river. The river in which I was swimming with my mouth wide open, naked." It wasn't the getting deathly ill afterwards and staying sick for the next 7 months. Nope, it wasn't even that. "What I regret most in life," he said, "are failures of kindness." The novelist Henry James gave this advice: 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. The third is to be kind. You'll find in life that the opportunity to be kind is presented almost constantly. The question is, are you paying attention? Did you let the car in front of you change lanes, or did you speed up to make no room for them to merge? What about the person at the grocery store who had only 3 items? Did you let them go ahead of you? Did you pay it forward at Starbucks by buying coffee for the person behind you in line? Sometimes it can be as simple as writing a short note thanking them for a comment they made, or noticing something they did for you. It can sometimes be as simple as not looking at your cell phone during a boring commencement speech. When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind. Many of you probably recognize that quote. You probably read it a few years ago. It was the precept that Mr. Brown writes on the chalkboard on the first day of school in the book Wonder, written by R.J. Palacio. One of my own character flaws that I fight and struggle between is this notion of being right. I am a firstborn after all, so inherently I'm always right. Right? Being right doesn't mean you're being kind, but being kind always makes you right. I want to encourage you, while you prepare for the rest of your life, to always be kind first. Think of how much better our world would be if we were all motivated first to be compassionate and kind. We live in a world where suicides are trending upwards. Bullying is easy to do over social media, where school shootings have started to become the norm. Ask yourself, what can you do today to help stop this dangerous trend? I suggest to you to be a model for not only your friends, but your family, and someday even your own children, who will look up to you. Because in the end, no one is going to remember you by how much money you made in life, how many homes you owned, or how many lavish and exotic vacations you took. Become the person everyone will miss because you made this world that much better of a place to live in. Borrowing another quote from R.J. Palacio, the best way to measure how much you've grown isn't by inches, or the number of laps you can now run around the track, or even your grade point average. Though those things are important to be sure, it's what you've done with your time, how you've chosen to spend your days, and whom you've touched this year. That, to me, is the greatest measure of success. As president of the Board of Education for the Williamsville Central School District, it is my sincere hope you, the graduating class of 2018, make every effort to choose kindness first. It is with great honor that I wish to you and congratulate you on your accomplishments today and wish you the most luck and success wherever your future may take you. Congratulations, Williamsville South High School Class of 2018.
It's now my pleasure to introduce the Williamsville South Band, who will be playing As Summer Was Just Beginning, conducted by Mrs. Marnie Conti.
It is now my honor to introduce Mrs. Cheryl Goldstone, who will be awarding the Eugene F. Colas Junior Scholarship.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by congratulating the class of 2018 as you continue on your journey on the road of life. Whether that road leads to college, the military, or the world of work, I hope the lessons that you learned at the South will serve you well as you continue on life's journey. Find your passion in life, and it will bring you happiness and success. Tonight I am honored to present the Eugene F. Colas Jr. Memorial Scholarship. Each year, the Williamsville Teachers Association awards the Eugene F. Colas Jr. Memorial Scholarship to a graduating senior from each of the 3 high schools. The student would plan a career in education. The scholarship is named in honor of Gene Colas, a biology teacher at East High School and president of the Williamsville Teachers Association, who passed away unexpectedly in 1989. Mr. Colas was a force in bringing the WTA to a prominent position in the community and earning the respect of all WTA members by working tirelessly on their behalf. Tonight it gives me great pleasure to be able to present the award to a young woman who has worked tirelessly for 4 years. In my letter of recommendation, I described her as personable, conscientious, self-reliant, and mature. Over the course of her high school career, she has shown ambition and fortitude. She has a wide range of interests and enjoys being challenged. She is full of energy, always finding new adventures, compassionate, always caring for others, and has a strong faith which has allowed her to grow both spiritually and mentally, become the strong young woman she is today. Her love of math and children will lead her to the field of education. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 recipient of the Eugene F. Colas Jr. Memorial Award, Lexi Ferrantino.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ronald Schubert of the PTSA Council to present the Williamsville PTSA Council Scholarship.
Good evening, and glad it's not raining. First of all, congratulations, class of 2018. My name is Ron Schubert. I'm president of PTSA Council. I have the honor of presenting the Williamsville PTSA Council Scholarship Awards. These awards, in the amount of $750 each, are given to 4 graduates from each of the 3 Williamsville high schools. These scholarships are made possible through the joint contributions of all 14 Williamsville School District PTAs and PTSA units and the proceeds from the PTSA Council Holiday Craft Show. The selection committee is made up of adult representatives from all 3 schools. The criteria for selection include academic achievement, activities in and outside of school, service to the community, personal initiative, and the character, poise, and communication skills displayed during an interview. I would like to congratulate all the applicants for this award on their tremendous accomplishments during their high school years. The selection of the winners was extremely difficult. It is now my pleasure to announce the South High School recipients of this year's Williamsville PTSA Council scholarships. They are Caitlin Corrado, Megan Hall, Sarah Meyer, and Maureen O'Malley. Come on up.
And last but most certainly not least, I am honored to present Mr. Adam Administrative Erickson for the Certificate of Perfect Attendance.
Good evening. I have the honor of recognizing 7 students for the remarkable achievement of perfect attendance throughout their high school career.
These students have demonstrated uncommon discipline and perseverance as they woke each day to come to South, regardless of their circumstances. This accomplishment requires rare dedication on the part of the student and their family, and for that we honor them. Ladies and gentlemen, the following students are the recipients of the Certificate of Perfect Attendance: Isabel Bubb, Duncan Cicero, Eric Cicero, Nicholas Cicero, common thing, Olivia Ferguson, Yuna Huh, and Thomas Vaughn.
Over the past 4 years, we have seen our school change and continue to improve. We are fortunate enough to be the first senior class graduating with the new athletic field. As a way to continue to improve our school, for a senior class gift, we are donating flags to hang on the light poles around the field.
Additionally, we know that many of our South students spend countless hours in the library, which showcases the beauty and history of our school. And while the new athletic facilities are important to us, we would also like to show our appreciation for this wonderful and welcoming place in our school.
To do this, we'll be donating a piece of artwork to hang on the wall in the library. We hope that these gifts can improve South and leave the class of 2018's legacy for future South students.
We would also like to take this opportunity to thank our amazing advisors, Mrs. Schuler and Mr. Zansky. They contributed endless hours to the class to ensure that we had a memorable 4 years here at South. Their hard work and dedication does not go unnoticed. Thank you both for all that you do.
As is customary at our South commencement, at this time we ask that any past Williamsville South graduates in attendance this evening please rise and be recognized for their strong family tradition of attendance here at South High School. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Boardman up to the lectern for our final farewell address.
You guys are so lucky. I told the students earlier, I said, if I was placing money down on Wednesday, there was no way this thing was going to be held outside. And all week it was, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. We won't know till as we're getting closer. And about 3 o'clock I arrived here today, and I kind of was in my office and I walked out and there was sun. And I thought, they're going to do it. They're going to be outside. Before I do the farewell address, I want to just say something briefly, and I said it to the class of 2018 inside. The end of the school year is not the administrator's favorite time of year. Sometimes the seniors like to do things that aren't in the ordinary behavior-wise. As I said to them, sometimes they stick forks all over the front lawn. Sometimes. But I told them, and Mr. Swenson and Mr. Erickson and I have been talking about it, quite honestly, just despite the forks. This has been just an absolutely phenomenal end of the year, and it really is because of them. The respect that they have for the building, for the teachers, for what happens here is definitely noticeable by us as administrators, and you should all definitely be proud of them for how they've conducted themselves. Thursday night we had the prom, and it was quite honestly one of the most enjoyable proms I've ever attended. And I'm pretty sure I'm at like 30-something at this point for proms. So certainly our thanks to them and congratulations to them for what they were able to do at the end of the year. So to close out graduation, I guess I first want to say thank you for everything you've done, not only for the end of the school year here, but all you've done for the past 4 years. What we know is you guys have set an incredibly high standard for the students of South High School who will follow in your footsteps. And the legacy you leave, the tradition of excellence you leave behind is one that certainly any of the 123 graduating classes prior to you would be proud of. As I sat here and I wrote my speech, I began to sort of project into the future. And I started wondering if we will look back on this year in particular as a year that really kind of changed America. And really because it's a year that high school students found their voice and stood up to be heard all over the country. A year that... And it's a year that the class of 2018 leading it really decided that the future is theirs to determine, and they won't let somebody else determine that future for them. We saw that all across the country, and now what I would say the challenge remains before you is, will you continue to speak out and be heard? Will you fight for what you believe in and demand that those in power listen and make changes? And it's a key role for young people to learn. Martin Luther King once said, "There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right." So my challenge to you and our challenge to you, do not take the safe road simply because it's safe. Do not take the easy road simply because it's easy. Take the right road, and take it because it's right. At this time, I'd like you all to do me a favor and take a moment to look around at all of your classmates. I mention this each year, but it's very likely that this is the last time that all of you as one remarkable group will be together in one place, here in front of the historic bell tower. So if we could ask of you one more thing before you leave us here at South High School, it would be to commit yourselves fully to the ones you care most about. Make sure that family and close friends always come first, and give those closest to you the greatest gift you have to give, which is your time. And do that a lot this summer for your parents, because you guys are going away, and whether they want to admit it or not, they're going to miss you. They may enjoy it for the first week, but after that, they're definitely going to miss you. So now, in the great tradition of South High School, we will ring the historic tower bell, honoring the class of 2018 for their years here in the Williamsville Central School District. Just so you guys know, because you cheered for Mr. Erickson louder than you cheered for Mr. Swenson and I earlier, he was the one who had to pull the rope just now. At this time, I would ask that all of the members of the class of 2018 stand. Please move your tassels from the left to the right to signify your graduation from Williamsville South High School. And to the class of 2018, I say thank you, congratulations, best of luck, and farewell.